Today's guest is on the 2023 Forbes 30 Under 30 list. Natalie, known as Corporate Natalie on social media, has become one of the most influential people on TikTok, but it all started with some lighthearted fun. During the pandemic, Natalie decided to create TikTok videos poking fun at the realities of working from home in the corporate world. Though Natalie has since left her 9-to-5, she's still got one foot in corporate as she continues to consult for early stage companies. We're chatting with Natalie about her interesting career path and her hopes for the future. This is Advocate Now. Well, Natalie, you started your TikTok during the pandemic. Tell us about those first videos you made and what inspired you to post them in the first place.
I think a shared feeling amongst a lot of people was boredom during the pandemic. People are trying all these new projects, doing, painting the house, doing things you would have never done initially. And I think boredom was the inspiration for me on TikTok as well. I think coupled with my love of humor and making people laugh, I was able to just make these videos in a super carefree way, send them to my friends. It was never the intention to go viral or anything. It was sort of just a little diary of these experiences I think a lot of us were feeling during working from home during the pandemic. So I think boredom is sort of what inspired it, and what's made it last is just my love of content creation and entrepreneurship and all that comes with it.
And you're known as Corporate Natalie on social media. At what point did you realize that corporate content was your niche?
So everyone says on social, you need a niche, you need something niche down, you be specific, people come to you for a reason. I think for me, I realized that the corporate content was really hitting because it was sort of new at that time. People weren't really talking about work on socials. It was, a little bit scary to go out and make fun of working from home because it was just a scary time and no one was taking that risk. Some people were, but fewer than they are now. A lot of people post about work content now. So it was just, I think I leaned into the niche when I realized that it was really building a community and comfort for people during this really dark time.
So exciting that you got the job. Welcome to the team. Lauren's your manager. Oh my God. No, she's great. Definitely a personality hire. I would check her details. If you see a Robert at the holiday party, veer away. He tends to get a little handsy. Margaret has not been promoted in but don't say I told you. I heard that the CEO just bought a house in Beverly Hills, 10 million. Yeah, I found it on Zillow, I'll text it too. Early promotion, not a real thing. They say it is, but just kind of coast. It's not worth grinding your gears.
And in the beginning, when you were still, streamlining the direction of your brand, what were some of the criteria for deciding what you would share and what you would keep private?
I think coming from a corporate background, I lead with I'm very private about these things. I think I came from a space where they would tell you, don't post on social media, don't wear a company shirt at a rally, whatever, all these rules that your corporate handbook teaches you. So from the beginning, I was very, and I still am, just private about the personal things in my life, because I think when you give that up, you can't get it back. If I start becoming a lifestyle creator and sharing about my relationships, my family, I see how that can spiral into the content is your whole life. And I think for me, I keep that private to sort of protect myself and honestly, maybe my sanity. And instead I treat the page as like a character and sort of a meme page that I'm able to express myself in this humorous way and then keep kind of the real Natalie to myself.
I cried a number of times. I sweat, I danced, I got a shot, I ate.
And over the past 5 or 6 years, we have seen a shift in the way corporate America views social media. I mean, you mentioned these rules about what you should and shouldn't post. When you first started creating content, was there any fear that your videos might be taken the wrong way?
Definitely. I mean, I think, I'm smart enough to know that Bruce is not my real boss. These people these names I say in my bits are characters that I've created in my mind. It's not like I'm making fun of someone specifically at my company or a company specifically, even when I started. So I think, people viewing the videos are like, what does Bruce think of this? You want to think it's real, but at the end of the day, I try to protect myself with hiding behind the character and the characters. And so there was definitely fear in the beginning, but it actually, I think, what I've now realized is that people in the corporate space view social media as a powerful tool. So it's been interesting to see that shift in perception.
Yeah. And speaking of that, you actually got a promotion as a result of your TikTok. Were you surprised at all at the time?
I was incredibly surprised. Meeting with the CEO of, it was like a 12,000 person company. I'm a lowly 24-year-old girl working in, this cybersecurity space. And he pulls me in and is like, we want you in marketing. But we saw your channel. What you're doing is awesome. I was like, wow, I was ready to pack up my things and leave. I had no idea that this was viewed in a positive light, and brought the CMO in. I got a promotion, moved into marketing. I was in a super technical space before. And it was just really exciting to see this really hard work that I've given to the channel kind of pay off in my actual corporate life.
Yeah, I love when things like that happen, because I feel like it's usually an affirmation that you're on the right path. Did that sort of confirm for you, like, okay, I was supposed to create this?
Totally. It was definite confirmation that this is a good thing. I think I always viewed it as maybe like toxic or bad, or like I shouldn't be making the videos. I'm going behind my company's back. And it was like, no, this is great, both inside and outside of the company. So yes, total affirmation. I agree.
Yeah. And you've done such an excellent job at personal branding, because you're bringing people into your life to see and understand who you are as corporate Natalie, while still keeping the life of Natalie private. So how do you balance all of that?
I think, personal branding is super important. I speak about it when I go and speak at companies or to interns or any, groups of people. I think setting these boundaries early has allowed me to be more successful in both my business of corporate Natalie and my personal life of real Natalie. And so I think the balance is something that I have to do check-ins with myself and keep up with, but maintaining it is essential to the well-being of the whole thing.
And you started a company with your roommate, Expand VA, which provides virtual assistance for influencers. How did all of that start?
So when I started this, I was taking on the entire role of both creator, agent, manager. I was negotiating deals, kind of doing everything for myself, which I'm proud to say I still do. I think what I realized was there's this big administrative burden with creation. You want to just like set up the ring light and film, but that's so just one narrow part of it. There's editing, there's, contacting the brands, making sure the script is approved, sending product, tracking the product. There's like sending the invoice, like from start to finish, there's a myriad of tasks and things. And so the company started out of realizing that people want a side hustle. People want to get involved with the like influencer economy. How can we connect people wanting a side hustle with creators and influencers who need help with that administrative burden? And so it kind of came from my own personal experience, and it's grown now to, we have clients and they're paired with virtual assistants, and it works really well.
What an amazing resource. And I do want to mention that you were included on the Forbes 30 under 30 list, which is such a great accomplishment. But what's the next big career goal for you, would you say?
I think for me, writing something long form, I think I've done these short form bits and it's been, really, really successful and exciting. I think a challenge for me would be writing more of a story or a TV show or a long form piece of content that could live kind of in an evergreen way instead of these videos that come and go. So I think that's my goal, is to get in a creative space where I can apply all these learnings that I've received from short form videos and my audience and their reactions to it, and see if I could maybe write a show. So that would be the goal.
Yeah. And you have said that you kind of see yourself going in the off-camera direction, that you love informing and teaching, but being on camera isn't really where you see yourself. So what would your ideal professional role be?
I'd love to be an advisor for a portfolio of early stage companies and kind of play the equity game with that and learn and give kind of brand strategy, social media strategy to early stage companies trying to just get their product out there, and see if what I've learned as a creator could apply to those B2B, B2C strategies. And I think being an advisor for various companies, I used to be a consultant, and I loved the project-based work of so many different companies and industries that you're, being exposed to. So I think that would be sort of my like corporate goal if I were to get, more behind the camera.
Well, Natalie, congrats on all of your success. I love what you've built, and we're so appreciative that you chatted with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was awesome.
I'm Sonia Baghdadi. Thanks for watching and advocating. For more stories and content like this, visit advocate.com and advocatechannel.com.